Hello and welcome to a DFS strategy video for the 2024 Black Desert Championship. My name is Eric and I'm here at SweetSpotDFS to go over everything you're going to want to know on how to hit the optimal lineup this week. It's a new tournament. It is a new golf course, so we don't have course history to talk about, but we will be talking about the golf course. I'll be talking about the tournament more so than what I just did. There are no past optimal and GPP winning lineups for this event. We can talk a little bit more about that a little later in the video. I won't be talking about the bucket system either. These are two main components that I like to talk about in these videos, but because it's a brand new tournament, I don't really have that information. Doesn't mean we can't theory craft, doesn't mean we can't strategize doing all of these things. So again, we'll do that later on in the video. I will be going over the Marquee Tee Times. I will review last week's tournament, the Sanderson Farms Championship, to show you how well the SweetSpot process did. And then, yeah, we'll go from there. I'll be building lineups at the end of this video. Probably just going to build 5 lineups per person. I don't want this video to be too long because there isn't much to talk about. Like, there are 2 segments that are just gone because it's a brand new tournament. So without further ado, let's get into this and begin with giveaways. Now, I'm not going to bore you with all the ways you can do a giveaway this week or any week. I'm going to leave that in the details down below. In the description of this video, you can find out how to enter any of the giveaways that I do. It's pretty simple though. Be subscribed and comment down below. We will be doing a weekly giveaway here shortly. We did the monthly giveaway last week. Every first Tuesday of a new month. I know that's a weird way to say that, but the first Tuesday of every new month, I do a monthly giveaway. And I try to give away $100, but it requires us to hit the sub goal that you see way over there to the left. Now, we've been stuck on this number. I imagine we'll still be stuck on this number because it is the fall swing events. If you are on DraftKings and you're looking at the contest selections, it's pitiful. Like, it's terrible. There are like very few contests you can enter. The prize payouts are terrible. I'm not sure if that's just due to a lack of participation or if DraftKings just doesn't think this tournament's going to be any good to play. So either way, we don't... Where was I getting at with that? I forgot. I lost track. I was talking about DraftKings with the contest being low. Oh, subscriber giveaway, the monthly giveaway. I get it. I understand. Here's the thing though. If we can get to 1,000 subscribers by January 1st, I'm going to give away $1,000 worth of giveaways. Now, part of those giveaways will be 2 $100 giveaways, cash money. The rest of them are going to be subscriptions to SweetSpotDFS.com. So throwing that out there. Again, if you want to enter into any of these giveaways, you got to follow the instructions in the description of this video. So I guess without further ado, let's go ahead and let's run a giveaway. Let's run our weekly giveaway. Man, amateur hour, getting fat fingering all these buttons. So what we have here, 12 entries from the people who participated last week during the live video, as well as commenting on the replay videos after they go live. So appreciate everyone that was around that did those things. Those 12 entries are going to be used in a giveaway right now. So let's do a drum roll. Joanne, congratulations, Joanne. I see you in the chat. You and Mr. Carnivore, what's going on, lady and gentleman? I think you're the only 2 in the chat. So, hey, it's cool, Joanne. Since I've got a few other people that are in the giveaway that aren't here, so I'm glad someone who won the giveaway is here. I think we already have money banked for you, and I am going to be doing a merch drop before Black Friday. So I should probably say December 1st. If we're going to be real, it probably will be December 1st, before December 1st. I don't want to make too hasty. I think in the next couple months I will be, I'm planning to move. I am trying to get this database and website, you know, up and running. So those are my priorities, and then I'll do a merch drop. But I want there to be more t-shirts available. I do have a store connected to my website, so I want to see if I can try to figure out how to do that. And maybe if I can just get the shirts made, or have some kind of agreement between a manufacturer and my website, that'd be sweet. So I'll have to check into that. It's your birthday today, Mr. Carnivore? Joanne says just save it. Like I said, we can bank it if you'd like. Yeah. Though that's all that I have for the giveaways for this week. I guess, you know what? I'm going to do all my updates for the website for everything at the end of the video. So I'm not going to waste anyone's time going over that stuff now. I will talk about it towards the end of the video. Oh, December 1st is your birthday. Sweet. All right, let's go ahead and talk about the golf course in the tournament information. If you're unaware of this segment, I normally like to start here with the tournament fact sheets because it gives us all of the statistics that we want to know, especially when it comes to researching this tournament, which golfers are going to be good at this event. You have a lot of data points on here for research. Obviously, you've got the golf course. It is the Black Desert Resort in Invis, Utah. I think that's close to the Green Snake River, I want to say. I think it might be a suburb, but yeah, it's in Utah. So it's like our first event in Utah that I can think of, that I can remember. Again, it's a new tournament. It's a new golf course that the PGA Tour is playing on. And quite frankly, it's just new. Like 2023 is when Tom Weiskopf built this, or was the architect. Yeah, well, built this. I want to say website. The word website's at the tip of my tongue. Golf course, built this golf course. So you can see the front 9 opened up in 2022, the back 9 opened up in 2023. So it's a new golf course. Normally, actually, I have no idea what really went into building the golf course. I don't know how long it's actually healed. So you would hear, like, if a golf course was resodded or reseeded, renovated, that the golf course will be a bit firm in the beginning. I have no idea. We all anticipate this is going to be a resort style golf course where the scoring is going to be super easy. It's going to be super low. As long as the wind is low, I anticipate the same thing. Like, I was taking a look at the golf course. I was mapping out the golf course before jumping on stream. And unfortunately, I was doing several things at the same time. So I was listening to a video as someone was describing it. I was watching it from here and there. The golf course looks pretty wide. It does appear, though, that there are some holes where if you hit the ball really far, you might actually be more in trouble because there are, I wouldn't so much say bottlenecks, but like there's a specific hole. I can't think off the top of my head what number it is, but it doglegs. It kind of contours down to the right, and you want to hit a specific spot for that ball to follow the contours down. If you hit it too far, you're in the black rock. If you try to cut the corner too much, you're in the black rock, the black lava rock that can be found on this golf course. So just being a bomber doesn't necessarily provide the best path to doing well at this tournament. I will say, though, I'm kind of going to reel it back. Those that do hit it the furthest typically have the greatest potential to do well at any golf tournament. But there are certain parts of this golf course that if you are a bomber and you hit it straight-ish, or you hit it where you're looking, where you want to hit it, you have so many better scoring opportunities than those that don't. Like there's definitely one drivable par 4. I think from the very far back tees, it's 320 yards. I guess I do have this map to some extent. let's see, what hole did we, 322. Hole number 14, 322 yards. My apologies, I wasn't able to actually map out which shot shapes would have mattered, but I'm using this for right now. I will come back to this because this is all part of my database that I'm building, is trying to figure out what shot shapes are good at certain golf courses, what aren't, and then using that as research, like data points. So again, 322 yards, that's a drivable par 4. I think there's another one that's 320 right here, hole number 5. So we've got 2 golf holes that are 320 yards. Now, one of them, I can't tell you which one because I can't remember off the top of my head. As I was watching this video, I'm like, wow, definitely, okay, actually, I remember both of them now that I think of it. I believe the first one is relatively flat. There are bunkers that guard the green, from what I remember, but the hole is surrounded by this black lava rock. So if you're a little bit off, and it's rock, by the way, it isn't like movable objects. I mean, some of it might be movable, but if you hit the ball in the rocks and it finds itself in a crevice, you don't get free relief from that. You got to take a penalty. So it's definitely something worth considering. And if you take a look at the golf course, I wish I would have brought it up. But if you take a look at the golf course and you see some of the pictures, some of these lava rock formations are as tall as people. So like, this is definitely a penalty if you hit it into those areas. Maybe it ricochets off the black rock and it stays on the golf course or stays in the bounds of the golf hole. That would be kind of cool. I have no idea. We've never seen this. So it's just worth noting. I just want you guys to be aware that being a bomber just doesn't give you an absolute edge this week. It's golf. You hit the ball where you're intending the ball to go, you're going to do well, regardless if you hit it far or not. But if you're offline and you hit it far, I think you're far more in trouble than what most people are leading on. You would say that would be pretty much likely at every golf course that the PGA Tour plays on, but that's not true. Last week that wasn't true. You could bomb it all over the place and not really have too much trouble. You probably have to hit through trees or around trees, stuff like that. This week it's the black rock. I don't know how easy it's going to be for these guys to play in. So I only mention all of that because it seems like the consensus this week is, oh, find the people who hit the ball really far. There are certain parts in the fairway that are 90 yards wide, which is true. That is true. Do you know at what distance point that is? I don't. I wasn't able to map it out to see where those wide areas are. Now, the golf course also has connecting fairways that make certain fairways 100+ yards wide. Like, it's nuts. So yeah, I do think it's still going to be friendly. And I still, like, I was in Byron, Back 9 Bets. I was in his chat earlier today. And I was kind of trying to bring up the same point. What was that? Man, short-term memory right now is just, it's not great. I'm trying to talk about how wide the fairways are. Lost my train of thought. Anyways, I think this golf course, this golf tournament is wide open to everybody. Bombers, short game specialists, plotters, whatever. It's still going to require you to get a bit creative with your lineup building. It's kind of what I'm trying to get at. So the other thing to go along with the golf course, talking about the golf course, is the grass. We are on bent grass. And apparently, what's kind of cool about some of these YouTube channels like Grant Horvat, personally, I don't care for Grant Horvat. Like, it's been fun that he's been playing with some of these PGA Tour players. I like to get to know the PGA Tour players more. So he played with Tony Finau in Utah, and it appears that Utah uses bent grass on a lot of its golf courses. This is a bent grass golf course, so find your bent grass specialist. It is interesting that Tony Finau is not playing in this event, but I do believe, from what I remember from the PGA Tour Live broadcast, I can't remember, Susie Whaley, I think her name is. She says that Tony Finau is hosting a junior PGA event this week, and his son is playing in it, and Susie Whaley is a part of it too. So I think that's why Tony Finau's not there. But I mean, I feel like it's a missed opportunity. It's his home state, or I mean, it's a state he lives in. Actually, does he live in Hawaii now? I can't remember. He's either from Hawaii or he lives in Hawaii, or maybe both. And same goes with Utah. He either lives in Utah, was born in Utah, or both. I don't know. But Utah is a place that he grew up in, or has spent time living in. Anyways, you've got bent grass, use bent grass. And then Kentucky bluegrass is just another word for Poa annua, just a little bit different. Like it's a slightly different strain, but it's an annual grass, just like Poa is. Tom Weiskopf is your architect. You can use that for a data point. And then obviously you can see all the additional notes. So whatever you want to get from there, go for it. Now going to the tournament, talking about the golf tournament. It's a weak field. 104 is the strength of field rating. And I was very curious. It's like, man, I want to go check to see how low this is compared to other. I wouldn't so much call this a marquee tournament, but it's not an alternate tournament like, say, the Puerto Rico Open is, or the Cross Punta Cana. Those are all alternate events. This is not. This is a full schedule event, but 104 is one of the lowest strength of field ratings I've seen at a, what would you call it? Just at a regular event. In fact, I probably should have brought up like the Bermuda Championship. That'd be another golf course, another golf tournament that has a low strength of field rating. So what I'd love to be able to show you, and in the future I will be able to, like the near future, is how this would stack up to other tournaments around that strength of field, and just see what type of players do well at this type of event. I'd say it's probably more wide open than cream rises to the top. It's not to say cream can't rise to the top, but there isn't a lot of cream in this event. You have Keith Mitchell, who leads off the salary board. I don't mind going back to Keith Mitchell this week. I think he's better on Bermuda golf tracks, which I forgot to update the grass stat here. This should say bent grass, not Bermuda. But yes, Keith Mitchell's at the top. His bent grass stats aren't terrible. They're not great. They're whatever. They're as is. Like, I think Kurt Kitayama might have the best last year bent grass stat, and I think Daniel Berger down here has the best overall bent grass average finishing position. That's what those stats mean. So I find that very interesting. Like I said, I think it's pretty wide open. I'm going to theory craft lineups a little bit later on in the video. I'm not going to do that right now. But I have ideas of what I want to do this week when it comes to building lineups. Now, you have 132 golfers in the field. Be careful, because I think there were 5 or 6 withdrawals. You can see that all in the DraftKings lobby, or when you go in to build lineups. You're going to find a lot of outs. Kevin Yu withdrew. Emiliano Grillo withdrew. You've got a lot of people down in the 6K range. I think you got 3 golfers in the 6K range that withdrew, so I know there's at least 5. So be careful when it comes to building lineups. Now, one thing, because I didn't talk about my website earlier, I forgot to bring up, I have a cheat sheet, which you can find a link to in the description below. But if I click on my cheat sheet, you're going to see the players that withdrew are not in my field. So these are all active players that have not withdrawn. So you can be confident using the spreadsheet, the cheat sheet that is, to find active players that have not withdrawn. And as more withdrawals happen, if they happen, I will take them out of the cheat sheet. One thing also to note, I do not have a bucket system for this tournament. I'm not going to make up one. I'm not going to look at other tournaments to see, you know, their inaugural event, what happened during those years. I don't have that information. So yeah, no bucket system. You're not going to see that. All you're going to find is a dream sheet. Again, link to this is in the description below. Yeah, top 65 in ties is your cut. We don't even have an average winning score. We don't even have an average cut score. All we can do is guess. And I'm going to guess the winning score is going to be 20 under to 22 under, somewhere around there. And your cut score is going to be -5. If the wind doesn't pick up Thursday, Friday, the cut score could actually get to -6. And a lot of people are comparing this to TPC Summerlin. I got no issue with that. That is the Shriners Children's Open. I got no issue if you want to make that comparison. I think it's going to be very similar to that event. This is also played at elevation. This tournament is played at elevation, the golf course is. And it's 7,300 yards, but it's going to supposedly play around 69 to 7,000, maybe even 7,100. I can't remember what it is. It really doesn't matter, honestly. People will be hitting some really long drives. The course runs out quite a bit. Just looking at some of the videos from earlier. So yeah, that's your golf course. That's your tournament information. Now, again, I don't have pass optimal and GPP winning lineups, so we're not going to talk about that. Let's go ahead and I'm just going to go quickly over a review of the Sanderson Farms Championship. And I'm going to start here with the bucket system because I did have one last week. Let me clear out all the filters. Oh, I have one other filter right here. I had a bunch of filters on there yesterday or last week. Let me just hide this. We don't need to see last week because that was not a bucket to choose from. And let's open this up. I forgot to look at this. So out of 36 buckets, 34 were correct. This actually was correct. The formula that's driven in here doesn't account that this is a 0 to 2 projection. So that one was correct. And this one was not, because there were 5 golfers that finished inside the top 10 and there are 4 golfers on the optimal lineup. My projection was 1 to 3. You can see the Sweet Spot optimal only chose 3. So 35 out of 36 buckets were correct. That was wonderful. The next thing to look at would be the Marquee Tee Times. Marquee Tee Times, every group has 3 golfers in it. So if I highlight the top groups here by every 3 golfers, we will get the 9 Marquee Tee Times from last week. So here they are. Of this, I always tell you want to select 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times to anchor your lineups around, and you never want to play them in the same group together. Well, there are several different iterations that you can follow. So these are the 9 groups, and let me zoom in a little bit more just to make this easier for you to look at. That's too much, and that's not what I want to do. Okay, so here are your Marquee Tee Times, like I said. Now, the blue color here indicates they were part of the GPP winning lineup. The green salaries indicate they were part of the Sweet Spot Optimal. And the little black tick marks that you can see in the top right-hand corner of some of these cells, which is Bo Hosler and Lucas Glover, are in the optimal lineup. So I tell you to choose 2 to 4 golfers to build your lineups around. And you don't want to pair them up together. Well, there was not a single iteration. I mean, I guess Bo Hosler was both in the optimal and Sweet Spot Optimal, and so too was Lucas Glover. Bo was a part of Group 1. Lucas Glover was a part of Group 4. Nobody else in their groups were part of the Optimal, the GPP, or the Sweet Spot Optimal. And then if I scroll down, Mac Hughes was a part of the Sweet Spot Optimal, and not in the optimal or GPP. Steven Yeager was in the GPP winning lineup, and then Sam Stevens down here was also in the GPP winning lineup. So like I said, 2 to 4 golfers. This just increases the amount of times we see this every single week with the Marquee Tee Times. And just to show you how well, so the optimal, yeah, just to show you how well the Sweet Spot Optimal did. The optimal lineup used up $46,800, leaving $3,200 on the table. Scored 778 points. 6 golfers here at the top: Kevin Yu, Beau Hosler, Lucas Glover, Keith Mitchell, Alex Smalley, and Bud Cauley. Your GPP winning lineup used up all of the money that DraftKings provided you, and it scored 710 points. 710 versus 778. That was your difference between optimal and GPP winning. That Kevin Yu, Beau Hosler, Keith Mitchell, KH Lee, Steven Yeager, and where's the fourth? Sam Stevens. There you go. That was your 6th golfer. Again, that scored 710. Your Sweet Spot Optimal scored 772. It was only 6 points away from matching the optimal lineup. So yeah, the Sweet Spot Optimal used up 49,900. It would have kicked the GPP winnings butt, and it would have been Kevin Yu, Hosler, Glover, Mitchell, Cauley, and Hughes. So that's 2 10K golfers, 2 7K golfers, 1 8K golfer, and 1 6K golfer. 0 9K golfers. In fact, the 10K range smashed. You had 3 10K golfers that finished 11th or better. Pretty good. So, Sweet Spot process last week was 100% successful. And that's all I got to say about that. Let's move on to the Marquee Tee Times for the Black Desert Championship, and then we're going to build some lineups. Like I said, I didn't really say this, but this is going to be a short video because there isn't a lot to talk about. It is a brand new tournament, just so you all are aware yet again. It's a brand new tournament. I have 0 historic stats on this golf tournament and this golf course, so it's hard to do anything Sweet Spot related. But we can still talk about the Marquee Tee Times. Now, if you're unfamiliar with this segment, basically, like I just talked about in the review of the Sanderson Farms Championship, is you want to select 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times, and you don't want to pair them up together, or you don't want to pair them up together. How I figure out what the Marquee Tee Times are, I rank order them based off the best golfers in the field and their cumulative Sweet Spot rank per their group compared to the other groups in the field. And how I get the Sweet Spot rank is I've got a basically a model all the way to the right of the spreadsheet. So if you went to the cheat sheet, you can find that same model all the way over here to the right. Goes over all the stats that I include in the Sweet Spot score, and we add all that up, and then we get the Sweet Spot rankings. And then, like I said, you rank order these based off of what their cumulative score is when it comes to the rankings. So for instance, Kurt Kitayama, Steven Yeager, and Harry Hall, their cumulative Sweet Spot rank is 42. So you add those numbers up together, you get 42. The next group is 60. The group after that is 71. The group after that is also 71. So that's a tie. Very interesting. The group after that, 73, 75, 81, 85, and 102. Those are top 9 groups. So again, you in the audience, I'm asking you to select 3 golfers from these, or not 3 golfers, I'm sorry, 2 to 4 golfers from the Marquee Tee Times, which consist of the top groups of 3 golfers in each of the groups. And let me zoom in for you guys. So you will want to select 2 to 4 of these guys to anchor your lineups around. And again, it's based off of my model. Can't believe that just happened. Twitchy finger. Twitchy finger. So if you are in chat and you'd like some lineups built, I can build you some lineups. Because I do have the optimizer up. And you will want to select 2 to 4 golfers. Like I said, I'm going to build you 5 lineups each. Make sure they're quality lineups. And then I'm basically going to end the video by talking about updates to the website, to the Sweet Spot process, just plans, stuff like that. So basically all your news will come at the end of these videos as opposed to the beginning of the videos. Just to appeal to more of a larger audience. Because if I personally, when I go to a video and I hear them trying to sell products or anything like that in the beginning of the video, I tend to just click off of the video. And I listen to mine every once in a while just to, well, one, I have to get the timestamps because I'm not recording them as I'm talking. But like I'll listen. I'm like, man, you need to hurry that up. Like that isn't, I don't want to listen to that. If I don't want to listen to it, I can't imagine you want to listen to it. So we'll just push all that to the end. Is there anyone in chat that wants the lineups built? If not, I can go ahead and just theory craft some lineups for you all. Make sure that my mic is on, and it is, so that's good. All right, so what I'll do is we'll start building lineups using the optimizer. I do have the Marquee Tee Times in here loaded already. I have all of my conditionals here. So I've got a minimum salary, a maximum salary. All the buckets here, all the minimums except for... Actually, why did I make these ones? I don't want these to be ones. I think I did that on accident, honestly. But this all looks right. So we don't have any last year buckets. We don't have any course history buckets. We technically have last week buckets. I have no idea the success rates or the frequency rates of these buckets. So I'm just guessing. This is just a guess for the maximum. But like I said, I'm setting all the minimums to zeros. And then I also have recent form buckets. So I'm setting those to zeros as well. I know sometimes it's worthwhile to put ones in these minimums, like what I had earlier with the recent form buckets. I had ones for all of these, but I don't want ones for all of them. I'm going to start with a lineup consideration that isn't going to anchor around the Marquee Tee Times, but like I said, I've got that built into this optimizer. Let me run it once for you guys to see what the optimal lineup is that the optimizer thinks is the optimal. You got Keith Mitchell, Ben Griffin, Patton Kizzire, Chandler Phillips, Mark Hubbard, and the assassin, Ryo Hisasune. So that would be the first lineup the optimizer spits out. This is the most optimal lineup based off the current conditions. However, I was in Byron's chat earlier today, and I was giving him a lesson on how to say Justin Lauer's name because he likes to say it lower. But if you go to the PGA Tour website and you look for the pronunciation, it literally says under pronunciation, rhymes with power. So we're going Seamus Power with Justin Lauer, and we're calling it Lauer Power. Now, Lauer is not in a Marquee Tee Time, and that's fine. I don't mind that. When I look at the 7K range, because I did scour, I was looking at all of the golfers and their salaries, and I was trying to build a dummy lineup that appealed to me. And I actually started with Patrick Fishburne. That was the first guy that I did. So it was Patrick Fishburne is who I selected. And then I think I went down to Michael Thorbjornsen. And I put some other lineups in, and I'm like, or some other golfers in, and I'm like, I've got some money left. So I put in Ryan Fox. So like 96, 92 is where I started. And then I think I went 88, and I think maybe that was too expensive. So I think I dropped down to Harry Hall. And this was before even doing any research. I'm like, oh, this kind of looks good. It's like I had Harry Hall, and some of the, I can't remember. What I'm getting at here is there's nobody in the 7K range that really appeals to me. Nobody. Like Justin Lauer was like one of the top guys that appealed to me. It was him, Danny Berger. He also appeals to me, but there's nobody else really. Because I went through everyone's kind of player profile and I was looking, I'm like, man, these guys aren't good on bent grass. These are all Bermuda green specialists. Most of these guys are. So I'm like, God, I don't really trust any of them. I don't want to anchor around any of them. But like I said, I was in Byron's chat earlier and I was like, I like Lauer Power. I said, I bet you a beer you're going to say Lauer's name wrong again. So anyways, we're going with Seamus Power and Justin Lauer. I did mention Power Lauer Burgers. I don't know what that means. Or lower power. I think I said Lauer Power because if you write it out, it looks like lower power burgers. Kind of like that idea. So I'm just gonna anchor on these two and see if we can get any Daniel Berger lineups to go with this. Oh, I love seeing all the emojis in the chat. That's awesome. I still need to create one more, and I think it's gonna be a Scotty Scheffler, his jail roster photo. So that's definitely going to be one of them. I bet you I can probably unlock another one somewhere down the road, which we'll get to when we get to. All right, so if I start with Seamus Power and Justin Lauer, it wants Chandler Phillips, who showed up a ton last week as well. The guy's just been playing pretty decent golf as of late. Now this one includes Mark Hubbard and S.H. Kim. I don't mind going to S.H. Kim. I haven't spent a lot of time checking out his Bermuda versus Bentgrass splits, but I know at like the American Express, for example, that was, a while ago. Like, we're closer to reaching it than it was behind us. It's closer in front of us than it is behind us. He did well. I think he does well in the... that tournament, I think he's done well in that tournament a couple years. All I'm getting at is there could be a correlation to desert golf on grass that doesn't have a lot of grain, like the bent grass golf courses and the desert. So that kind of correlation, I don't know. Maybe S.H. Kim is a good play. I don't mind playing him once. Remember, don't fall in love with the 6K golfer, but also do not disrespect one. I don't want this to be my first lineup saved. In fact, as much as Chandler Phillips has been playing good golf as of late, I don't want him in my lineup, nor do I want Mark Hubbard. So I'm just going to kick those guys out, give him the boot, and then I want to bring back S.H. Kim. Maybe he will be selected. By the way, hello everyone. I saw Josh Maz come in here. Howdy. Shot like Harden, what's going on? I'll spend some time chatting with you guys towards the end of this video. I'll still chat with you guys here in the middle, but oh yeah, Joanne, if you're still in the chat, prayers out to you. Having to deal with a second hurricane coming in, that's crazy. So let's see what we get when we lock out Phillips and Hubbard. And we get the assassin. I love that. I do not like Luke List. I knew he was a bum last week. Hey, I like seeing Fishburne and I like seeing Novak. So let's see what the hell we can get here. Kick out Luke List. Ben Coles, perfect. Perfect lineup right there. I love this lineup. This is a slam dunk. I haven't done this in a long time. Love that lineup. How about another one? Love that lineup. Okay, saving it. I need to save these exposures over here. I gotta remember what the exposures are because I want to change this all to 100%. Let me change my metrics also. If you don't know, on the optimizer, this is where, like, off to the side is where I store all the information that the buttons here will go and select. So if you were to reset or use a SweetSpot reset, which I don't know why it's not showing, or SweetSpot, what does it say? SweetSpot defaults. So I'm gonna say no, I don't want to. And then you have a hard reset, which just makes everything. Mins are 0s, maxes are 6s. So anyways, I'm gonna make this all 100%. 4 building lineups for you guys, so I don't have any restrictions. Okay, yeah, like that lineup. Ben Coles will be getting the boot. That's fine. If we get another Rio lineup, I'm gonna give him the boot. We don't. In fact, we get SH Kim, who we were just talking about. Nick Taylor, I don't mind. I bet you Nick Taylor's played in what, 2% of lineups, maybe? Like, I doubt it. SH Kim though, yeah, it's fine. This is okay. Charlie Harden goes, my 75-year-old dad got 7th in drive the green at Procore a couple weeks ago. I think if he wins, or he wins it if Lipsky would have won, dude, that'd have been sweet. I had some good sweats this last week. I was winning the 50 cent tournament. I can't remember what it's called. They don't have it this week. I can't believe that. That stuff, that shit pisses me off. The mini max. They don't even have a mini max for this week. Come on. It's just a 50 cent tournament. DraftKings, you're not losing a ton of money. Like, just play it, dude. Jeez. I almost won that this last week. I think if one, I needed Chan Kim to play better. That's for sure. If Chan Kim plays better, that's awesome. If Thorbjornsen plays better, so if it was Chan Kim and Thorbjornsen, I think if Thorbjornsen wins the tournament, I probably win the mini max. But I had Bo Hosler in that lineup, I had Keith Mitchell in that lineup, and I had Daniel Berger in that lineup. Like, that was amazing. I was winning for a long period of time. And then when I started losing in that, my lineup in the quarter jukebox started to spike. And I got all the way up to 5th place. I ended up finishing 5th, I think, in the quarter jukebox, which I think I put $60 in and I won 89. So it was good. Last week was good. And here's the strategy that I did. I did this in the members only video, which I do on Wednesday nights, and I will do tomorrow night, building lineups. I told you, I went lineup by lineup what I was doing. I said I'm going to play every 10K golfer with every iteration of a 9K golfer, or every 9. I don't have to say iteration, but every 9K golfer I paired up with the 10K. So it was Mitchell, and this week I'm going to do the same thing. It'll be Mitchell and Van Rooyen, Mitchell and Kirk, Mitchell and Fishburne, Mitchell and Griffin, Jaeger, Fox, Glover. So I'll have those lineups built. I'll do the same thing with Power. I'll do the same thing with Kitayama, although I don't want to. I'll do the same thing with Bo, although I don't care to. Like, one, I don't want to. I don't like Kurt Kitayama this week. Bo Hosler, I couldn't care less for. Like, the guy is a loser. Just dumpy Bo. I really enjoy the 9K range. Playing 2, if not 3 9K golfers almost seems viable this week because of how good this 9K range is comparatively to the 10K range. And I always advocate for spending most of your salary, if not all of your salary. Fishburne, I really like. He's a Utah guy. Jaeger, I really like. Despite, I think he's a little bit better on like southern golf courses. This is Utah, I guess this is technically southern. I think it's more mountain golf, I guess, desert golf. So I don't think Jaeger's, I don't know. I like Jaeger. I'm not going to take anything away from him. I also really like Ryan Fox. Like starting Fishburne, Jaeger, Fox, Fishburne, Fox, Glover. I think those are all viable options building lineups this week. Let's see what the chat has to say. Nice. I had $18 in, got 51 out. There we go, man. That's awesome. I was over 87 when Mitchell dropped. Oh, dude. I think if Mitchell wins, I probably make more money too. Hey, I got an idea for members only. Can we make Marquee Tee Time buckets with the sums? I'd have to think about that one. So basically, I know what you're asking, and you're basically wanting to find the best golfer in each of the groups Basic, like that's kind of what your premise is. The only issue is, so here, I'll do this with the Sanderson farms. I'll show you what I do. I closed the Sanderson farms. Okay. So in order for me to find that information for the bucket combos, by the way, Ryan, there will be no bucket combos this week. There's no historical data for this event. So I can't do it. There's no possible way of doing bucket combos this week. So basically what I'll do, so if I go in order going backwards. So this is the Sanderson Farms Championship. I'm explaining how to look at the bucket combos. And right here, right away, this is the 6K range. So what I do is I sort DK points highest to lowest. And basically, if I know, because I usually start with the 10K range, I know what the highest DraftKings total is. Now, Norlander finished second last year and scored 117 points. Well, he's in the 6K range. Carl Yuan would help you win a GPP, scoring 112. And then Marty Doe, scoring 94.5, would have helped you win a GPP. The rest of these guys are kind of speculative. They probably don't win you a GPP. So I'll take these three golfers with their course history, their last year, their recent form, and if there was any actual stat in the last week, I would take that with. But last week, we didn't have many years where the Sanderson Farms Championship had an actual playable event the week before. I do not include Ryder Cup. I don't include President's Cup or anything like that in these stats, just actual tournaments on the PGA Tour. So that's what I'll do there. And then I'll go in between 7,900 and 7,000, and I'll do the same thing. I misclicked. That's wonderful. So here, the same thing applies. Now, this is a 7K range, so I'm really only going to take the golfers that are 100 points and greater. And so I'll do that. And I go on through each salary bucket, basically, salary group. And I do that for that was 2024. I'll do that for 2023, 2022, 2021, 2020. Like, my salaries go all the way back to 2020, and then there's no salaries 2019. There's no salaries 2018, 2017, none. So I don't look at anything that doesn't have salaries. So most of the data goes back to 2020. So for the Black Desert Championship, there are no other tournaments that happened prior to this, so I can't do bucket combos for it. And all that the bucket combos do is just give you the sense that a certain golfer is going to outperform another based off of how many times they show up, their stats show up inside the top 10. Now you want Marquee Tee Times, so I'd have to go back to when I first started to record Marquee Tee Times, which 2022 would be the first time I started doing that. And whereas the for the bucket combos, when it comes to how I do it, that's based off of golfers in the similar grouping. In the Marquee Tee Times, like, you're gonna have golfers that shouldn't be ranked next to each other. So I guess now that I think about it, I don't think I wouldn't want to do bucket combos for the Marquee Tee Times. And in fact, I don't even have Marquee Tee Times in 2022. I just have the game number. I have a color combination. I guess technically these would be the quote-unquote Marquee Tee Times, but there's, I don't know how many groups, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, so it's not even consistent. It's like you just have a limited amount of data that comes with the Marquee Tee Times, like Marquee Tee Time bucket combos, basically, is what you're trying to ask for. So I don't know if I can do that. I might be able to do something with that, but I don't think in the same way that you'd like me to. I don't think I can. All right, back to building lineups. Shelly Harden goes, I'm scared to play Hosler and Mitchell this week. I'm gonna fade them. I think Mitchell is a great fit here too. So remember, like, I do the buckets for a reason. They show us almost the same thing every single year. For every single event, like it's kind of the same thing. If I were to sort by last week, so you're afraid of playing Beau Hosler and Keith Mitchell. Well, from this group, there's quite a bit of golfers in this group. The golfers that top 20 last week. With this amount, basically anything that's close to like 16 to 18, you're always going to find 1 to 3 that finish inside the top 20 or inside the top 10 of the next event. So when you look at the golfers that are here, I mean, I like most of them, so I got no issue if you want to fade those guys, because the rest of the guys that are in this group, I think, are fantastic. It's like there's Beau Hosler, Keith Mitchell. I'm not screaming to try to play them. Like, I'm not screaming and running to try to play these guys. You have Lucas Glover here. You've got, what did I used to call him? I'm pretty sure I call it, well, I'm going to call him a psycho because he's got a crazy man's laugh. Forget what I called him. Doesn't matter. Alex Smalley. Bud Cauley, I don't mind playing, 7,400. Daniel Berger. I absolutely love the idea of playing Berger. And Thorbjorn. Like, so I like these guys. I also like Seamus Power. I like Ryan Fox. So I probably need to limit myself, and we just actually had a Ben Coles lineup right there. I probably have to limit myself. From how many golfers I want to choose from. So to your point, if you did want to fade them, I mean, there's several good options in this group to select golfers from. Yeah, I'm right there with you. For those of you at home that are like, oh, Eric said 1 to 3, you can change this to 2 to 4 because of how good of golfers are in this bucket. Like, that's part of the thing with all DFS is using your eyeballs to determine, you know, if that bucket should have less or more golfers in it. But all right, let's kind of finish this up here. Kind of getting that headache feeling. So we'll probably try to speed this up here a little bit. Glover's wife roughed him up to putt better. It's probably true. Probably true. All right, let's see how many more Power Lauer lineups we can build that are good. Pearson Cootie and Ryo Hisatsune, that's fine. Hisatsune. Ooh, Matty Schmid gets added to the mix. So last week, I have it maxed out at 2. I guess I could change that to 3, since we were just talking about that. It's selecting only 2 golfers from that. And Matty Schmid's one of them. It would be Matty Schmid and Seamus Power to go with JJ Spawn. I really don't want to try to reach to play JJ Spawn, but this is fine. I guess I don't mind that. For any of you guys that want lineups built, I'm building 5 lineups for anybody. So if you want me to build lineups for you, I will do so. If not, so be it. It's all good. Here we go with Seamus Power, Chan Kim, Spawn, Lauer, and Nick Taylor, and Hisatsune. That's fine by me. Hisatsune just keeps showing up. I do not want to save that lineup. Seamus Power, Fishburne, Novak, Lauer, Hayden Springer. Oh yeah, sign me up. So remember what I said, don't fall in love with a 6K golfer. I don't want to play Hisatsune that much. I'll bring back some of these guys that kind of got kicked out because of him. I'll build like 1 or 2 more and bring back Mark Hubbard into the mix. Okay, a little bit more balanced here. We get Seamus, JJ Spawn, Novak, Lauer, Whaley, Springer. 3 guys who finished inside the top 20 last week. That's fine. Svensson, Novak, Lauer. So this is more balance. Yeah, Hoey in there with Whaley. That's fine too. So I'm gonna bring back Hubbard. I'm gonna leave the Mustache Man there for right now because I know Hubbard and the Mustache Man will be picked a lot. So, ooh, here's an interesting lineup: Power, Hosler, Lauer, Hubbard, Vince Whaley, and KH Lee. That's fine. No Hubbard here, but a Joel Damon sighting to go with Fishburne. No, yeah, that's another good lineup, man. Hell yeah, sign me up. Power, Spawn, Novak, Lauer, Bridgman, and Hubbard. That is a super sexy balanced lineup. That's 10 lineups there. I'm going to kick out Hubbard. I'm going to bring back the Mustache Man Chandler Phillips because he will be selected. And the guys that are currently booted out of lineups, that's totally fine. Totally fine. Glover, Mustache Man. All right. Yeah, let me build those lineups for you right now. This one though: Power, JJ Spawn, Svensson, Lauer, Phillips, and Ben Coles. That's fine. I also really like Ben Coles this week. All right, let's build some lineups for Shot Like Harden. He wants Glover and the Mustache Man. Chandler Phillips. Alrighty. I'll build you 5, sir. You get the guy that you're afraid to play, Keith Mitchell, but you also get the assassin. Hadouken! Luke List. Where is that one? You just made the list! Keith Mitchell, Glover, Novak, Schmid, Phillips, and SH Kim. Sure. That works for me. Mitchell, Glover, Novak, Phillips, Hubbard, and Joel Damon. That's a pretty good lineup right there. You know that I'm the cream of the crop. Whaley and Michael Kim. By the way, I was looking at Michael Kim's profile. Holy crap, does he just look awful as of late. I don't think I can go back. I can't go to Michael Kim. Lonto Griffin. I was watching First Cut, I want to say, and Greg Ducharme was saying that Lonto's kind of turning it around, so I don't mind that. I'm going to lock out Mitchell and see what your lineups will produce. I'll lock him out. I'm going to keep the other guys locked out as well. You get another Mustache Man in there. You get the original Mustache Man EVR with Glover, Novak, Schmid, Phillips, and Vince Whaley. Hell yeah, dude. That's a sexy lineup. That one I like quite a bit. So I like these Fishburne lineups, right? Sure do. Sure do. Yeah. Little Hayden Hasatsune lineups there. What other one did I really like? Any? Joel Damon, maybe? Sure. Take my breath away music? Oh, sure, absolutely, man. It's definitely sexy. Sexy enough for that. Careless Whisper. All right, let's see here. What else can we get out of this? Hit Ayama, Glover, Schmid, Lauer, Phillips, Hubbard. Give me lineups no one will build for 500, Alex. Sure, let's do it. EVR, Glover, Svensson, Lauer, not Lower, Phillips, Hubbard. Yeah, sure, why not? Griffin, Glover, P-Raj, Kazire, Phillips, and Hubbard. Oof. It's a lot of Phillips, Hubbard. I don't like that. I don't like that. We're going to get rid of Hubbard. And I'm going to bring back P-Raj. We go again. Ooh, I don't think I can go skins either. Like last week when he almost shot 59. So he was putting for 59. I think he had an 8-foot putt. Looking right down the barrel, the camera was. And I thought to myself, this guy doesn't have the gusto to shoot a 59. Like part of me was like, I want him to make it. I want to see a 59. But then this part of me is like, no, he's not going to make it. He's not going to make this putt. He's David Skins. David Skins isn't clutch. He's seen, like, I mean, hole 17, he hit a wedge shot to like 3 feet, 2 feet. It was like, okay, this guy's breaking 59. And then he hit his iron shot into 18. And it's like, yeah, he's gonna make this putt. He's on fire. And then you just saw he got over his putt and you're like, nope, he ain't making it. There's just something about it. You just knew that guy was not making that putt. How like disappointing. Wasn't even close either. Didn't even touch the hole. Almost alligator armed it. It almost looked like just straight up yanked it straight left. There we go. I'm glad I got rid of that lineup because this one's pretty good. EVR, Glover, Novak, Bridgman, Phillips, and Springer. I don't like price tags together, but hey, these two guys together, those two guys without seeing their price tags, I wouldn't mind having in a lineup together. So I'm going to do that. I'm almost going to bump this up to 49.7. Plus 3 Saturday. I'm playing Saturday, watching scores. How do you shoot 60 then 15 shots more? Because he's David Skins, man. He's David Skins. Sam Ryder looked broken last week. I don't think I can go back to him, but this lineup's fine. I don't mind that lineup at all. One more lineup for you, Shy Carden. Carson Young. Yeah. I love that. EVR, Glover, Chan Kim, Kazire, Phillips, and Carson Young. That's a pretty good lineup. Okay. I am gonna end it here. Like I said, it's gonna be it was a short video. So let's talk about some things before I sign off. Tomorrow I will be building lineups. I'm not reserving a lot of contests. I think I have 46 contests reserved. The contest selection's terrible on DraftKings. I'm sure someone came in chat and said it. I said it earlier on in this video. It might be a mix of it being the fall season events as well as it just being the Black Desert Championship. I don't know. Maybe there wasn't a lot of participation last week, but at least last week you had the mini-max. You still had contests that were worth playing. This week, not so much. I don't know if I'm going to play more than 50 lineups, if I'm going to be honest with you. Not to say I'm not going to spend $50 because I already have a $20 sand trap contest reserved. I'm going to at least play in one event or one contest that can get me a decent payout if I hit. So I'll be doing that. I think that's so tomorrow. Members only. You got to be a white tier member and above. Most of you guys in chat are. I can already tell. So you can join me tomorrow. I'll probably go live around 8 p.m. I think. The epic views should be great watch. Oh yeah, dude. I saw the scenery. I think this golf course looks amazing. It should be pretty cool to watch. So So yeah, I'll build lineups tomorrow, white tier and above. Most of you guys are for members. That's either $4.99 package and above. So $4.99, $9.99, $24.99, I think is the other one. You want to become a member to this channel and watch those lineup building videos. It should be pretty short tomorrow. I'm not even sure if I have the luxury of doing the same strategy as I did last week, because last week I was entered in more contests and my strategy like required me to have a lot of lineups reserved. So I don't know. We'll see. We'll talk about more tomorrow. Okay, website. Let's talk about the website. So I was streaming Thursday night. I think Mr. Carnivore was in that video with me, and I was loading the data into Power BI, and that's where you know the dashboards and the reports are going to come from. So I was like, I had cleaned my data. I had done a lot of things correct, the right way. I'd been watching videos all weekend long, or not so much all weekend long, all week long last week, even the weekend before. And I'm like, okay, I got an idea how to do this. So I put everything into Power BI, and I saw some errors, and I'm like, whatever, we'll skip past those errors. And then I started building the report for the people that I was doing the video for. And I quickly realized there are some very important beginner steps that I don't know yet, because as I was maneuvering all the slicers and stuff like that, I couldn't format it the way I wanted it to. I couldn't change the values. I didn't know how. And I was just sitting there kind of like going back and forth going, I'm not quite sure how to do this. I'm not quite sure how to do that. Not quite sure how to do this. But here's what I want to do. And I'm like, okay. So I got off the stream frustrated, and I started to watch more videos. So it's like, okay, cool. I saw this really good video. And it explained all the issues I was having during that stream when trying to build the lineup, or trying to build the reports. So I apply it, all those things I learned, and I start, whatever. I start importing all the data, and I thought to myself, wait a minute. Do I have everything? And I swear to God, I thought I did. Do I have everything updated? And then I came across my tee time table. Now, if you didn't know, what I want to do with my channel, what I want to do with my website is provide you, like how well a golfer plays with another golfer, how well a golfer plays in the morning, the afternoon, round 1, round 2, round 3, round 4. Like, I want to be able to provide you all of these data points you can use for researching. So as I was looking at this table, and I guess I could probably pull it up. You're not going to see it actually the way that it was, because I have now updated the entire tee time table. I had from Myrtle Beach Classic until current date for tee times, like their opponents and stuff like that. I had all that updated. I needed from the 2017, that's 2017 Century Tournament of Champions until the 2024 PGA Championship. Actually, no, I guess I went to the PGA Championship, to the Myrtle Beach Classic. I needed 350 tournaments, 350 tournaments worth of tee times to be added to my database. And luckily I already had an update file that I just needed to tweak in order to encompass 350 tournaments, because it was only able to look at one tournament, but I was able to update it to look at 350 tournaments and create their unique values for each event, who their opponents were, what their tee times were, all that good stuff. So, thank God, got that done. I was like, you know what? I need to validate my data. So I just started handpicking different tournaments, and I was going down the list, and I got to the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. And I'm looking at the golfers, I'm looking at the game numbers, I'm looking at, you know, all the relevant data points. And I'm noticing they're not matching. So I'm like, what in the hell did I do here? I can tell by other tournaments like the Sony Open and the Tournament of Champions. I even looked this up for the Masters, the US Open. I looked up a lot of the important tournaments. Does my data match? It does. So it's like, okay, what's wrong with the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am? And then I remembered it has multiple golf courses for that tournament. It used to have 3, it now only has 2, but for the large majority, it had 3 golf courses, meaning there were 3 sets of the same tee time, and I didn't have them in order correctly for when I did the update file, so those times came in wrong. Now, to be quite honest with you, thinking about like trying to create a formula that encompasses the differences in golf courses, it's like, that's insane. I'm not going to do that. That is, nope, not going to do that. So what I ended up doing was, or what I am doing currently, is I'm going through each of those events that have multiple golf courses. So we're talking about the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, which I've already updated at each iteration from 2017 to 2024 with the correct tee times, the correct opponents for each of those golfers that were in that event or in those years of that event. I still have the American Express to do. I still have the Farmers Insurance Open, because if you remember, that one is a 2-course tournament, so I do need to update that one. And then there's one more. Which one is it? It's your first one. You'll see the American Express, the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, Farmers Insurance Open. What other course has, or what other tournament has 2 golf courses? I think there are 4 in total, if I remember correctly. Maybe it's not 4, and that would be awesome. Shriners has 1, Zozo has 1, CJ Cup has 1, Worldwide Technology has 1, 2. There it is. RSM Classic. So I need to update the RSM Classic. I need to update the American Express. I've already done the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am, thank God. I need to do the Farmers Insurance Open, the American Express, and the RSM Classic. And I won't lie, dude, it took forever to do the AT&T Pebble Beach Pro-Am. Forever. Thankfully, I'm now a bit more skilled in doing this. I think I can get because the American Express also has 3 golf courses played in that tournament. So I will also work on this. It probably will take me 2 days to get this done, the American Express. I think it'll take me a day to get the Farmers Insurance Open done, and I think it'll take another day to get the RSM Classic. So by the end of this week, I'm hoping to get all those tee times updated. And why it's such a big deal to me to get this updated before getting the report up and running, because I kind of feel like I've been talking about this forever, right? I've been talking forever of trying to get my website up and running the way that I want it to be. I want the data in there. I want you to be able to use it to search whatever data you want, to use the report in the easiest way possible, the reports I should say. And it's like, yeah, but I can't do that if my data isn't correct. And it isn't so much that it isn't correct, it's incomplete. And I thought I had it completed. So one, I'll apologize for that. I think when I came across this issue this last week, I was really gung-ho about getting it into the system, and then I came across that error that I saw, and I'm like, well, shoot. Or not so much error, but it just dawned on me, just double check each table. Make sure each table has the data that you're looking for in there. And I think on my notes that I wrote down Thursday night, there was something that I needed to look into. And so when I did look into it, I'm like, yep, okay, screwed up, my bad. But yeah, I'm working on it now. I'm hoping by this weekend, again, I'm trying to get a lot of this done before the next time I go live. So I will go live tomorrow night, members only tournament or members only podcast. I'm not going to do a website. I can't even, I won't be able to do a website stream. I have a deployment call Thursday night, so I wouldn't be able to do it anyways. But yeah, I'll continue to work on it and sharpen my skills with report building and hopefully surprise you next week. Next Tuesday for the Shriners Children's Open, that I'll have something usable on my site to show you guys. Those are the updates. I know it was long-winded, but I think it's a great time to do at the end of the video and to explain. Eric, I told you I was going to when I commented on the YouTube comments or replied to you. Yeah, it is something I'm not super skilled in, nor am I knowledgeable in, but may have, what's the word I'm looking for? May have underestimated how challenging it was, going to be. I thought it was just going to be super easy. So anyways, that is all that I have. Remember, I like to do giveaways. And let me get that on the screen. Like to do giveaways. Be subscribed, comment below. You can find details for this in the description of this video, how to get an entry. Yeah. I think that's it. $1,000 worth of, or $1,000 worth of giveaways if we can get to 1,000 subscribers. So remember that too. All right, guys, that's all that I have. So, oh, hold on. Mr. Carnivore says, when is the first SweetSpot meetup golf trip? How many strokes are you giving us, Eric? That's super interesting. I'd have to know where everyone's from. Because so Chad Eckert from the Fantasy Golf Pod and I were trying to get this set up before the 3M Open last year. And I don't know if you were following along then, but we had one person interested and that was it. Nobody else reached out. We were trying to get like a Fantasy Golf Open, like a DFS Open up north, because they had a DFS Open south and it just didn't take traction. Nobody seemed to be that interested, but it'd be fun. It'd be fun to put something together. And how many strokes would I be giving you guys? I don't know. I probably have to depend on handicap. So I don't know everyone's handicap, and I don't know what game we would play, what format we would play. So yeah, that sounds like fun. Anyways, I'm gonna take off. If you want to get a hold of me, email me, comment on YouTube, DM me on X, whatever you guys like to do. I'll look forward to it. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please leave a like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff, and I'll see you in the next one.